I'll be like, there'll be a guy at the grocery store, and I'll hear him say something about Facebook. I'm like, oh, you do Facebook? You ever heard of CanFan? At Cowboys CanFan. Have you ever checked us out at Cowboys CanFan on any major platform? Because we're on all of them.
Dude, go to tiktok.com/@CowboysCanFan.
20 years.
Yeah, because he comes over and slides it inside of me and then starts working on my mic.
I only like these men.
Oh, is this going to be off the grid? So
It's like
you.
I say our podcast is like a good Quentin Tarantino movie. You don't know where we're going, but by the end of the cast, you're like very satisfied with what just happened.
First time I've ever heard him say that, but I said it.
Well, I at least said it once before.
First time I've ever listened to you.
See, this is what I love about you guys. You just go with the flow. This is what I love about it.
What I want to
That's
ask
because
you,
we drink the whole time and we just get so
Yeah.
off.
but guess what? We will tie in the end. We tie up the loose ends that need to be tied. The ones that don't, fuck. No one remembers anyways.
Okay, just give.
I have a question.
Give a clean crack him if you got him, Ants. Go for it.
Crack him if you got him, son. Let's go, baby.
We have a channel, yeah.
What's your channel?
Cowboys Can Fan.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm
Cowboys
from Puerto Rico.
Can Fan. We're from Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be cracking them if we got them, baby. Let's go. Not often are you gonna have the Vegas Strip shut down like this, so we're gonna take advantage of it. And we're gonna shotgun one for you, son. Crack them if you got them, son. Woo! Crack him if you got him, son.
You got Raleigh? Come on.
I've never met a real Eagles fan in real life. I'm from Canada. This is my first time out of my country. Well, hey, I don't say this often, but go fuck yourself.
Where's all the Giants fans?
Only an Eagles fan would have to promote a Giants or a different club's signage to try to get friends.
Crack him if you got him, son.
Crack him if you got him.
Hey, he hasn't heard though. Do you know who's winning the Super Bowl next year? The Cowboys.
The fucking Cowboys.
Got him! Okay.
9 a.m. out in Thailand, and Zion Johnson just got picked by the Chargers, which kind of sucks because I was really hoping that the Cowboys would.
Let's fucking go.
Do you guys want me to predict the rest of the game here or what?
You gotta do it now.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Wow.
Snoop Dogg dresses up and catches the winning touchdown for the Bengals.
I was just trying to help you out and not. Oh, okay, fuck it.
Fuck you, dickhead.
It's never nice. It's never nice. Let him pass it to Nat.
It's so,
You need to acknowledge that.
that shit is so gross.
It's so bad it stains the bottom of
Let's go, bro.
Oh man, that is fucking nasty.
Wow.
Age, you're gonna make me puke. Just watching him do that almost made me puke.
Well, I was close to 18. On the wrong thing, though.
Hey, you guys want to give me some...
You get, we've been drinking since 9 o'clock this morning. It is currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's a long haul.
And
I kind of low-key hate the 10 a.m. games.
yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
for sure, on a scale.
Is up, Cowboys Nation!
Sweet 'em boys.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em over there.
A real crack 'em over here.
Hey, this is still over. It's a can. It's a can.
Look, guys, I know what we've talked about, or I've mentioned. Oh, I'm gonna make a new intro song. I don't think I can.
I
That
kind of
song's
like
grown
it
on
now.
me so much.
The first time we used it, I was like, hate it. Not Big
It
HUD.
was different. It was different than Big HUD.
It's spicy.
Didn't like it. Thought it was shitty. Didn't like the intro song. Now it gets me kind of jacked up.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Because sometimes we can go George W. Yeah, not in this situation.
No.
Yo, whoa! You can't drop the G dub after what just happened to us on Sunday.
That was
I know.
terrifying. It was terrifying.
That's what.
Offside.
Very offside.
Hey.
Maybe a little too soon.
Give me my cam. That's a flag. Oh shit! That is a flag. I just threw a flag on Bandwagon Boy 1 over there. What's going on, Cowboy Nation? We know everyone's still reeling out there. You guys still reeling? How do you guys feel now that it's been a few days that we've kind of been able to digest that shitstorm of a game we watched on Sunday?
I feel justified in everything we said, and I stand to it. I stick to it. I think the biggest concern is just this fucking week now leading up to it. Like what happened. The thing that was good about it is it didn't change anything. We knew what was happening.
Realistically, we were going to be the 5th seed.
Yeah. So that didn't hurt, but it's the fucking
Way it
terrible
happened.
performance.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
And sorry.
No, yeah, go.
I just want to double down and say the defense, when considering the odds they were put at, played really damn good.
And that's what I keep seeing is like people bashing the whole team, where I don't think it's fair to bash the defense. I think I don't really remember what we talked about in our post game. I was a little bit tipsy, but I thought the defense played well. The offense and special teams totally let us down. On the other side of that, I will bring up a tweet I did see by RJ Ocho from Blogging the Boys. He had this tweet, and it has this weird pattern that the Cowboys have went through this year. They lose one, they win 4. They lose one, they win 4. They lose one, they win 4. So we just lost one. If we win 4, that means we go undefeated to the Super Bowl now.
Which is what I like to see.
Which
I want to hear.
Huh?
That's the type of stat I want to hear.
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, that's against some inferior opponents. Now we got Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Yeah. Wild
card round. And then we're more than likely, if we get through Tom Brady, you're playing either Philadelphia or San Fran. And then whoever, if you get past that, the divisional, well, then you're playing whoever just did their tournament to get to the NFC. And then if you somehow win that, well, now you get to play against fucking Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, right? So there's it's time to get battle tested. You're going through a bunch of stellar quarterbacks to have to win this year.
Sorry, do you... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was adding on saying, do you feel more like hopeful because we're not playing a rookie quarterback?
You know what?
or a quarterback who's backup?
Realistically, out of all the matchups we could have had, I honestly think this is probably our most favorable matchup. Tampa Bay hasn't been that great. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot of times on the cast. We've never beat Tom Brady. So we're 0-7 against Tom Brady. And we're 0-8 in the last 8 road playoff games the Cowboys have had. So the odds are stacked against us, but it's still probably our most favorable matchup of, like, I'd rather play against Tampa Bay than, say, if we would have had to play Rodgers or if we would have had to somehow play the Eagles or, like, San Fran, you know? So out of the teams that are there or the teams that are in the top 4 seeds, Tampa Bay is the best. To go on the road against a team, that's your best bet.
Yeah, I think in games where do we keep getting you up? I think in games,
because I've been so conscious about how much I've interrupted him over, and I started to stop, but then so now I don't remember what I was going to say to that first time, and now I don't remember. You might as well finish what you're going to say because then I have something else I'll say.
And so it's a silly thing to say. Oh, I don't want to see these guys in the playoffs if you're trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
The only time it makes sense is when it's like, oh, you could play Team A or Team B, and then you're saying, well, I'd rather go these guys. But like all those teams you listed, there's a chance we're going to see them at some point if we
Exactly.
When we beat Tampa Bay.
When exactly? You know, you.
Well,
go,
I
my
just
friend.
want to say what's good, chat.
What's good, chat?
What's good, chat?
I wanted
holla.
because they're chiming in. Two really good points. EJ Savage actually brought up both of them that I want to say, but there's a lot of great comments going on in chat right now. We're undefeated against Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Shit, yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
So
0-0.
and then he said, looking for a George W this week and not an Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh,
Facts.
fucking Abe Lincoln's? That's a good one.
We don't want no Abe
That
Lincoln.
is a good one. We don't want no Abe Lincoln.
You know what happened to Abe? Well, I mean, we all know what happened to Big Abe L.
Yeah.
And I don't care if Brady is not having a great season. He's over the hill. The Bucks have been.
He's always
trash.
scary, dude.
He's scary, man.
Yeah, they're very scary.
In the playoffs, the guy has more playoff wins than any other quarterback. He has more Super Bowl wins, more Super Bowl MVPs. Do you not think that the guys in that locker room going into the postseason get an extra kind of kick? They're like, we have the GOAT.
Look, he is not the type of quarterback that needs to rely on his dominant, strong arm.
Yeah.
He's a smart football player, and he's happened to been able to pick teams or make sure teams build around him. So he's not taking a lot of damage in his career.
He's seen everything. There's not anything. And we're our D's kind of, we're getting a couple guys back. We're getting LVE and Jonathan Hankins back.
Woo!
But our cornerbacks are a little bit beat up. We signed Xavier Rhodes, who they're saying might even get some playing time. Mullins got absolutely abused against the Commanders. I think the reason he was playing is Deron Bland went out with an injury early in the game. So
Bland's back, though, now.
Bland's back. LVE's back. Hankins is back. On the offensive side, you got Bayadash is back. Our run game has been horrendous since he went out at center.
Isn't that crazy how one person
man.
can affect...
It's because you can
it
only
even affected Kellen Moore with some of his play call.
Yeah, well, look, you can only start. You can only cover so many holes.
Yeah.
So a player goes down. There's going to be a hole open somewhere unless someone can fill that.
The crazy thing is, by him getting injured and the Cowboys totally suffering on the offensive line, it just proved his worth by so much more.
Yeah. Well, I think centers. Centers are probably the most unsexy position in football.
By far.
It's not even on a scale, but. That, I mean, it would be nice to see that position get that same attention that left tackles got a couple 10 or so years ago when they kind of moved their
it's weird how it kind of jumps around a little bit, hey?
From position to position. Yeah. And I think because it's just not exciting, it might not get the attention, but it should be known that that's such a pivotal position. That guy touches the ball every single fucking time.
Well, Travis Frederick, when we had him for his run before he got I forget what disease he came. I think Julian Guerrier syndrome or something it's called. But he ended up having that, and he came back at one more year after he kind of beat it. But the guy was so dominant, and he was the first time we had a center that I was like, since I had been a Cowboys fan, that was actually a good center, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this it's important. It's a fucking important position that kind of gets overlooked.
You got to think too. You know why it's so hard to find a good one is because. What kid is out there wanting to O-line? I mean, it's if you want to play football and you're that body type, then that's the position that you play. But I couldn't imagine anyone it can't be fun, quote unquote. Like obviously it's fun enough that people do it, but when you look at what a wide receiver, or running back, or even a cornerback or linebacker get to do, it's like every play you're face to face with this guy.
Well, it's like
guts hanging out of his pants.
It's like centers are all guards that were like, fuck, maybe I should just start snapping. Just in case.
Yeah.
And then there's a better guard than them. So then I can snap though. Oh, you can snap. Okay, you can play center.
Yeah.
And then they just get really good at it.
Yeah. So the competitive pool, even though you get to the NFL, it's all elite.
They're all elite. Yeah.
It's still it's not as strong as like those other positions were.
So we have on tonight a special guest.
Woot woot.
He's definitely not a stranger to this podcast.
How do we not have like a soundbite for Barry yet?
I just got this one.
I was about to give... You just fucked my
intro?
Promo. I was giving him a WWE fucking promo.
You can still go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Grant Jr. of the All Even fucking podcast.
It was just coming out.
Guys.
Barry, All Even. What up, what up?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
So that's my unshowman little brother who totally fucked your WrestleMania intro that I was giving to you.
I've fucked
That's
up.
all right. That's all right.
I'm sorry.
Barry, we need to know How are you feeling?
There it is. There it is.
Hey, you got your own. Shit.
Oh, I was about to start going. I like it. That was way better than ads.
No way. I was gonna Jim Ross's fucking ass all up in here.
Hey, you'll have more.
I'll get it. Don't worry. The next time you're on, I will. You're gonna get a primo intro.
We saw what you could do as Macho Man.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Thank you.
Hey, I got to ask Barry.
Good,
Barry, I got to ask you before we kind of go away from this game. We'll give you kind of the last thought, last take on the Commanders game. We did talk to you a little bit post game there, but now that you've had a couple days to think about it, what are your thoughts coming out of that game?
Just the same, man. I think, what we saw out of that game was just not what we expected, right? We expected this team to be sharp, try to get into, try to finish the season on a high note, like we did last season. But obviously, sometimes that can be fool's gold, right? Like, we beat the shit out of the Eagles last year, week 18, and it really didn't do much in the playoffs. So I hope that this is a wake-up call for them to be able to, look at each other and say, listen, we're not as good as we think we are, and we need to do some work. We need to get into practice. We need to have a good week of practice.
Practice? You talking about practice, Barry?
Exactly. But, there's a lot of things can get done in practice, man, and in preparation. And this team, I think a lot of times they believe their own hype a lot.
Yep.
So, when they play down to their competition.
Yeah.
And this is not a good Bucs team, but they have a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's the problem, is that, they can look like dog shit, but they still have Tom Brady. So this is a team that can be able to maybe score 9 points, but they can also hang 38 on us too.
Yeah.
So, that they have to be prepared for everything.
No, I couldn't say it better myself. The one thing that I will say about the Commanders game, do we maybe feel like we weren't giving Washington, like I'm not even saying the Cowboys themselves, but as fans, were we maybe not giving the Commanders as much, respect as possibly they should have had? They did beat the Eagles when the Eagles were undefeated. Yeah, they had this terrible 4-game lose streak after they tied with the New York Giants. But in my opinion, I still think the Commanders would have been a better suited playoffs than the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They won what, 7-8 games this year?
Yep.
And they really didn't have a quarterback.
Right.
So,
man, if they get a quarterback, look out. Honestly, look out.
This team is legit a quarterback away from being really good. They still, guys have to remember that defense is still pretty decent.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they don't, you don't beat.
And they didn't even have everybody again. They didn't even have all it stacked up against us.
Right. Their defensive line beat the hell out of us last week. Beat the hell out of us. So, that's a testament to their players. They have good players over there. They're well coached. Ron Rivera is a good coach. They have a decent running game. They just need a quarterback.
Yep.
So, it's in the National Football League, I think what people tend to forget is that all of these guys are studs, right?
Yeah.
And at any given Sunday, you can be able to lose and get embarrassed. So I hate when any team doesn't go into a game prepared in the National Football League. This is not the NBA. This is not high school. This is not, any one of those peewee big, like this is football. You got to play. You got to be serious. You got to be prepared to tackle. You got to be prepared to finish your tackles. Be disciplined in your coverages, all of that stuff. You cannot fall asleep in the National Football League. And too many times the Dallas Cowboys do that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We're going to hop into some Tampa Bay stuff, but before we jump into this, AJ, you have a clip for every Cowboys fan out there. We have a very devastating anniversary today. It has been 8 years since one of the worst moments in Cowboys history. So we're gonna get all the bad stuff out of us here. This is the only bad thing we're gonna see from the Cowboys this week. It has been 8 years since this awful loss, the awful no catch. Did Tez catch it, Barry?
Of course he fucking did. Of course he did. And the thing that bothers me, right? The thing that really bothers me about that fucking catch is that he did it right in front of the ref.
Yeah.
The ref was right there.
Oh man, I was in. the funny thing with that, it's fun. When Alex was playing the clip in the pre-show for us, he was just playing it and he was just staring at me. And it's like, Mike McCarthy's challenging the play. I'm like, what's he playing? Like, what play is Mike McCarthy challenging? And then I hear it. I'm like, you fucking bastard, Alex. He's like, he pulls it up. I'm like, or adds like, show it to him. I was like, man, I've seen this. I've rewatched this play so many damn times. But I just had to give it a little bit of onus because since I was a fan, that was probably the most heartbreaking thing I've seen as a Cowboys fan. And I hope that's the worst thing we can see about it.
We even have a little Des Bryant trophy in our not trophy, just a statue.
You mean a toy? A toy? That's what you're calling a statue? A Des Bryant trophy statue toy.
A Madden 17.
But
collectible.
Des had something to say here. He goes... So he put a series of tweets here. The game changed forever on this day. I caught it. Obviously referring to the catch. In 2014, I had all the odds stacked against me. The position I put myself in, it's no way they were going to let me catch stand. I was winning in the most honest way in life. Kind of just off left field, very Des-like.
Yeah.
Then someone says... ball hits the ground and pops up. It was a continuous catch move. Did not have possession. Easy call. Des replies, no, I popped the ball up with my fingers. Go get your eyes checked. So,
obviously he's still feeling a little bit.
Yeah.
If he's feeling it. Which anytime I see it, I can't believe that was 8 years ago, to be honest. That's the
Right.
that's the craziest part about it. That was 8 years ago. Like,
Not
crazy.
Not to stay on Des, but just a question for you guys. His career just fizzled right out. What happened?
He was a big-bodied receiver. Des was never known for his blazing speed. He was a contested catch guy. He was a strong guy. He had that Achilles tear when he went over to the Saints, and then that was kind of going to be his last shot, and then people just kind of went away from him. I still think he probably could have had a couple years in a role, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes. He was there was years that he was saying he was waiting for the right moment instead of maybe just signing with a team. But I mean, the guy was dominant for I'd say there was 3 years there that the guy, if not the best receiver in the NFL, top 3 easily.
Yeah, I think and what happens to guys like this, you kind of touched on it, is big guy. He's not wild athletic. He was strong. He was really, a bigger receiver, but those guys tend to not age well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, he had some injuries, and once those injuries start to pile up, and then if you want to continue to play on the outside and you're not getting separation, there's really no need for you. Like, he wasn't willing to convert to an inside receiver. So there's really no need for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's sad. Des Bryant, probably for me, I would say he's probably maybe not my favorite Cowboy ever, but top 3 for sure. There was people that hated Des because you'd see him going off on the sidelines. He wasn't going off. He was just a fiery motherfucker, and
passionate.
He was passionate, and people just always were taking it or portraying it the wrong way. And I don't know. I would kill for a Des Bryant on this team right now.
Well, I mean, listen, every time a receiver shows passion, it's them being a diva. But when Tom Brady is throwing tantrums on the sideline, it's passion. He wants to win. It's all bullshit.
It's funny. I'm the opposite. I see a receiver going, I'm like, fuck yeah, throw him the ball. I see Brady do, and I'm like, what a pussy. Shut up. You're such a little, or Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, shut your fucking bitch face. You have the easy, not the easiest position in sports, but the most babied position in sports, right? You're literally, obviously it's a very, very, very hard position in any sport, but it's they definitely get the majority of the calls. And I just hate when I see one of those guys yelling at the refs. It drives me absolutely bonkers.
Nah, I'm with you.
It's a little similar, but it brought to mind it would always bug my dad, and I kind of took it from him. But it would bug me how players play a game, football for example, extremely competitive, and they're out there fucking at war, and then they're expected to come in, settle down, talk to press, it's these guys have to psych themselves up to like essentially go to war is like the vibe you're trying to.
Well, they're jacking them. They're getting up.
And now you expect them just to. I'm always amazed at players that can do that.
Well, I loved the Richard Sherman with Aaron Andrews right after he knocked the ball out of Crabtree's hand. That was one of the coolest.
That's one of my favorite.
That was one of the best. That was one of the best interviews ever, man. And everyone's like, man, he's going off. Well, yeah. Imagine the adrenaline going through. He just beat a division rival in a massive game, and he was basically the reason they just won. Like, why wouldn't you be fired up? Oh, it was awesome.
He's like, I'm tired of disrespecting us, man. It's just like, who? Crabtree.
Yeah. It was so good. That was honestly probably one of the best post game moments ever. But Alex is right. Like, these guys are expected to go out there, and then you see them. Like, I mean, a lot of these guys know each other and played against each other for years, if not in the pros, in college. But actually, when we had Sam Leaf on the other week, he was saying, Barry, that his client Osa Odigizua was asked to take a picture with one of their other clients who was on the Vikings, and he was an O-lineman. And Osa was like, "No, I'm not taking a picture with him. Like, we're about to go play against each other. I'm not going to be his buddy right now." Like,
right. I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that.
I thought it was even afterwards. He's like, I ain't taking no pictures.
No, it was pregame. Okay. It was pregame, which I just thought was awesome.
I was just trying to start a controversy.
That's the intensity you want, and that's the intensity these damn Cowboys need to have going into Monday, or we're gonna see a frickin' repeat.
Can you get the money line and stuff? You had the betting odds on. I just want to read that real quick here. Okay, so
it's -2.
Yeah, so it's -2. Cowboys versus Bucks spread is Dallas -2.5. Cowboys versus Buccaneers, the over/under is 45.5 points. Cowboys versus Buccaneers money line, Dallas -145. Tampa Bay +122. The Cowboys are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games following an ATS loss. And then the Buccaneers are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 playoff games. Cowboys, Buccaneers picks. We're not going to click them because we don't care about their picks. We're all going Cowboys.
Yep. What does ATS mean?
I don't know. I think against the spread or something. Against the spread. Okay. So they're so both have been against the spread, basically, the Cowboys and the Bucks.
So 11-2 in the last. Break this down for me. Dallas is favored.
Dallas is favored right now by 2.5 points, which is crazy.
A field goal.
Yeah. So usually they'll give this if it's a really close game. They'll usually give the home team like 2.5 or 3, and that means it's basically even. But because the Cowboys have it, the Cowboys are technically favored. If this was the home team that was 2.5, you'd be like, okay, Vegas is thinking it's pretty even.
And we've seen a bunch of different Cowboys teams on both sides of the ball come out and play this year, right? We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they have the spread at 45.5 points.
The over-under.
Yeah, the over-under, sorry.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you got to think back. Well, so week 1, what was it, 19-6 or 19-9?
19-6, yeah.
19-6. So that was only, 25 they hit? But then week 1 of 2021, it was like, they went way over that. So you never know. Both offenses do have the firepower, but both offenses also have the power to completely just crash and burn. So I don't know, 45.5. I'm not betting on this game. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm not doing a bold prediction. I'm not doing a score prediction this week.
Wow.
I am not going. This is the least confident. I'm usually jacked up and super confident. I do not feel that way at all going into this game. I'm not ready for the season to be done, and I'm a little nervous.
So you're not doing a score prediction and a bold prediction?
No, I'm staying out of it this week. Barry can take it.
Can't blame you.
We'll get to that later, but right now
AJ's not happy with that.
That's okay. He doesn't have to be.
No, well, we are in the heat of it, so let's just keep talking about Buccaneers Cowboys. We're getting those 3 injuries back, those 3 players back from injury. Does that make you feel more confident? It must, obviously, just because we're getting starters. But is it, for me, I'll just say it instead of asking in a question form.
Yeah, thank you.
And Barry,
quit beating around the bush.
Barry, I'll throw this at you. I think that those were the obvious holes that we saw, and the issues with defense was right up the middle. And it was when Hankins went out, and then LVE, as Anth already mentioned, LV, we never really praised him too much, and I kind of jumped on that bandwagon. But you do see when he's not on the field. And I'm not saying that that's not easily replaceable, but certainly not with what we have available. So does that give you a little bit more confidence, or is that just like shoring up the side of the ball that really has never been an issue? And what we really need to worry about is, are we going to get the 40-burger offense or the field goal offense?
Well, I think both sides of the ball matter, AJ. I think, LVE coming back. I think Hankins is coming back. So all of those things are going to matter, you know what I mean, in regards to trying to shore up our front seven, shore up the run stopping. We're not great at it, but they're also not great at running the ball either. So something has to give on Monday night, right? Something has to give. So we'll see. The biggest thing for me is I want to see what gear or what Micah we get. Are we going to get a guy that is intense, ready to play, or is he just going to look like another guy? Because, a lot of hype came into the season about Micah, everybody comparing him to LT. And listen, that's like, Allen Iverson being compared to Jordan. Like, when you talk about the best football player at any position, there's only one person that everybody says. It's Lawrence Taylor.
Facts.
So for you to be able to talk about comparisons to that guy, the game changed because of LT. That guy was intimidating. He spoke to his teammates. He was a leader. He got into people's faces. He was a beast. I don't see those things out of Micah. So we need to see something from him. He doesn't have to get 3 sacks. He doesn't have to be but he needs to show some fight.
Do we need to get him on cocaine? Barry, do we need to get him on cocaine?
Yeah, something. He gotta do something, man.
Well,
he gotta show some life.
You could see how frustrated Micah was after the last game in his press conference. You could just see there was the angst and frustration was bottling up in him there. You could see with some of the comments this week. I don't care about any stats. I'm in playoff mode right now. If I'm Micah Parsons, I'm thinking, if I don't do something this game, we're not playing next week. Where the rest of the season's like, okay, I'm going to follow information. I'm going to do what my assignment is, obviously. But I think we are going to get a different level of Micah, because you will probably, if something's not going wrong, we'll probably see him maybe snap at a teammate, possibly. I think he's just ready to.
I don't know if I see that in him, but
I don't know.
Hey man, if you want to be, I'm a firm believer that you get in your face type in a situation like this isn't a bad thing if it's done. Here, I'll get in there with you. Crack if you got him, son.
Got him.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Especially if you get into the playoff scenarios. I think getting your teammates up and going, like Barry said, some of the greatest sound bites in NFL history are Lawrence Taylor. Just him talking to teammates and opposing players. And the dude just, like Barry said, struck fear into people. And is Micah that guy yet? We don't know. This is his opportunity to start becoming that guy.
You know what makes a great leader, or maybe not makes a great leader, but is definitely needed for a great leader, is the ability to say you're going to do something and then do it.
Yep.
To come back to the team and say, I'm going out there and I'm going to get the ball back for us. And then you go and do it. That's majestic shit. Often.
There it is. AJ's alarm for whatever reason. Good thing. Yeah, it's 6:30.
Welcome to being a podcast host, AJ.
The quarterback who throws the interception and says, we're going to go score this. And then he goes and throws a perfect fucking...
you know what that's called? And this is a good segue into what I want to talk about. That's called confidence. And you know who looks like they're missing a little bit of that right now? Our quarterback, number 4, Dak Rain Dakota Prescott.
Rain Dakota.
Everyone knows, anyone that's tuned into this shit knows that I've been a pretty big, I guess what they say online, Dak rider. Dak rider.
You're a Dak apologist.
I'm a Dak apologist, but it's getting kind of tough for me, man. And I need to see it. I need to see it this postseason for me to keep defending this guy. This last stretch of 12 games or 11 games of his, it's just getting harder and harder and harder. I fucking went through every single game, all 22, and looked at every single one of his interception. And for the most part, the majority of them are on him. They are on him. So it's getting tough to defend him. I really hope he can. I want him to have a good game in the wild card round and get some confidence back to have him feeling. I think a big win over Tom Brady would maybe kickstart them emotionally to be able to then go a little bit deeper in the postseason.
I saw a tweet. I can't remember who it was from. Forgive me. I would love to give the guy credit, but he said that if Dak goes to that podium after a loss to the Buccaneers and says the same bullshit that he says every week, we got to be better. I have to be better. We got to be sharp. Like, that is going to make the nation snap.
Yeah.
Because we keep hearing the same nonsense out of him. And there's a lot of times where that's fine, right? That can be able to kind of calm the waters. But there's a lot of eyes on Dak Prescott. There's a lot of eyes on Dak Prescott right now to play well. You know, he's had some really bad playoff games. And he's also had some really good ones as well. So who is he? Is he the quarterback that played so well in Green Bay and then, you know, we ended up losing, you know, because of the field goals? Or is he the terrible quarterback that went against San Francisco last year? Who is he? Who is he? Yeah. So we're really gonna find out exactly who he is, man, because, you know, I want to see a clean game from Dak Prescott. I don't want a cheapy. I don't want a cheapy intercept. I want a clean game from my quarterback. That's all I ask for. I really want that.
Man, I need this win. I just need this. I need this win, man.
Yeah.
We had talked about it. The Cowboys obviously have never beat Tom Brady, and they're
0-7.
and they're 0-8 in their last 8 road playoff games. But I honestly I feel like this could be a turning point for Dak's career if he can come out there, beat Tom Brady, get a little bit of confidence back, have a nice, clean, crisp game, not have these throws where he's throwing an out route and throws it. I think here's one right here. Throws it a little bit. His receivers either playing inside leverage and he throws it to the outside, or his receivers playing inside leverage and he throws it to the outside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He does the opposite of where his receiver's supposed to be. I want to see a clean game, and one of the main ways to do that is maybe let's try to utilize these 2 running backs that we have. One of them's a Pro Bowler, and the other one's a bruiser. I really think we have to try to lean on them, even if it's not working. 15 carries for Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott wasn't enough last game, obviously. We had 3 10-and-outs. That is never going to win you a football game. And then we had a couple crucial turnovers in the special teams part of the game, and then that pick 6 that Dak threw.
You know the thing that I've noticed about Dak, and I want to know if all 3 of you guys have seen it, is that when we are in our own territory, Dak is extremely fidgety.
Yeah.
He's fidgety.
Yeah.
But he's extremely fidgety in our own side. And that he throws some of the worst passes when we are in our own territory. And I think Kellen Moore needs to recognize that and needs to use the short intermediate passing game as the running game. You have guys like Turpin. You have Pollard. You have Zeke. Zeke has hands. You can give him the ball in space and he can make something happen. You have to allow these guys to try to get some yards after the catch. You have CeeDee Lamb, who's one of the best receivers in the game in regards to yards after the catch. Use the weapons that you have. Use that intermediate passing game. Use that short game and really start moving the sticks. You don't have to be so predictable and so boring offensively. Like, everybody knows what we're going to do. Run the ball on first down, we get no yards. Run the ball on second down, we don't get no yards, or we get 2 or 3. Now we're in 3rd and long, and now you're expecting Dak to make a decision when he's very fidgety in those situations. Yeah. So make it easier on your quarterback in regards to the plays that you're calling and the playmakers that you're giving the ball to.
I actually don't. I agree with everything you say there. I don't really care if the Cowboys run a fundamental playbook type of football. Just then become experts at that. Drop everything else, and that means you stick, we're running it on first and second down, and then we're going to throw it. Okay, but then you just become so good at that it doesn't matter that they know that that's what you're going to do. And of course, once in a while, you can take the top off, right?
Well, my problem with their first down plays when they throw it, they don't do high percentage throws. They don't. They never do. If you're going to throw it on first down, you need to pick up yards, because as soon as you throw it on first down and you don't pick up anything, you're immediately behind the down and distance.
Passing first down for 4 yards?
It's fine.
That's fine.
That is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like I watched, so I'm going to say it again. I got the all-22. It's a big deal for us, Barry. This is a big deal because in Canada, with our streaming devices, when you pay for Sunday Ticket or whatever it is, you don't get the all-22 footage. So I basically got a VPN. Is a VPN legal? Like I can say I have a VPN, right? I got a VPN, and then I ended up purchasing NFL Plus so that I can have the all-22. So I've been going back this last couple days and just been watching a few things. What the hell is AJ doing?
I don't know.
Guys, he said Canada. You have to.
We stand up
and salute.
Yeah, every time you say Canada, you have to stand up and salute. This is a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian.
I hope we were actually going to get people to believe us. But I actually went back and watched the all-22 of the Bucks game in week 1, and I'll say this.
What did you watch it on?
The all-22. I don't know if you know I have all-22. But I went back and watched that, and there is no way we can play worse than what we did in week 1.
Right.
We looked worse than we looked against the Commanders against the Bucks in week 1.
We bookend our worst games of the season.
Yep. No, yeah, we did. You're right. We 100% did, which I don't know if that's a good thing that we looked so bad against them the first time. Maybe because the only way we can trend is up. But we looked awful. Dak looked so nervous. His passes were off. He had the interception, and then he obviously got hurt. But the offense had no juice. The defense, again, played quite well. They only gave up 19 points, minus the fact that Leonard Fournette ran for 100 yards. The Bucs didn't have another 100-yard rusher the whole season.
Right.
So we can't play worse.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys from EJ in the chat. And before I get there, there was earlier on when Ant said he had no confidence in the team. It kind of created a big stir up in chat.
Oh, God. They're in that pot, baby.
Anth has been Mr. Optimistic with the Cowboys, so I think the chat
all season, right? Give him a break. Give him a break.
So they were a little turned. They didn't know what to do.
I gotta say the truth. I gotta say how I feel. I feel nervous,
which is great. No, nervous is fine. They thought you had no confidence in this team.
I don't. Did they not watch last?
Oh no, I know. So
did they not watch last week?
And listen,
that's why I'm nervous.
To Ant's credit, right? It's only Wednesday. Like he may end up Friday comes, he'll get a little bit more.
Well, no, Barry.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I've known him for how old are you?
35.
So I'm trying to think how old you are. You're my younger brother. I've known him for 35 years. He'll be nervous with no confidence today, but come Friday or Saturday or even Sunday. For sure, Monday when we walk in, he's like, boys, we're fucking taking it. Let's go. Tear his shirt off, shotgun a beer, and because he works off tomorrow, we're fucking getting that W.
I booked Tuesday off, Barry.
I like it. I like win, lose, right? You got to take off.
Okay, so EJ Savage says, Can we get to the actual problem with our offense? Lack of good run blocking and Gallup being a no-show most games. And what's with Noah Brown getting the second most targets on the team?
And okay, I'll actually say now that we brought that up, I got a couple answers to that.
EJ brought it up.
No, well, sorry that EJ brought it up. But so Noah Brown, while watching those interceptions that Dak threw in the all-22, 3 of them were basically forced passes to Noah Brown. The other thing about the run game, we're getting Biodash. I say his name different every time. We're getting Biodash. We're getting Biodash back.
Thank you, Barry.
That's gonna help. Like that's been a turning point. Once he went out, our run game kind of went downhill. Tony Pollard has not had a good game since what was his last good, like Tony Pollard's last like really good game?
Let me look that up real quick.
It wasn't the Vikings. He must have had a decent one. No, he had a good one against the Colts, I think. I think he had a couple touchdowns against the Colts.
Didn't he play good against the Eagles too? No?
Yeah, no, I don't think did he play against the Eagles?
Yeah, he had 19 for 75 against the Jags was his last kind of like quality game.
But the Colts, he had a decent one, didn't he?
Colts 12 for 91. Yeah,
and a couple touchdowns.
And 2 tutties.
But
that's a good game.
And a receiving touchdown, I thought.
I only got his running.
It's all good.
But yeah, me. Eagles and Commanders just two two bad games, and even the Jags, it was a noticeable a drop from his last two games.
So I agree. We got to get the running game going, man. We gotta rely on running and just, I don't know. There's a lot of shit we got to do, man. There's a lot of shit. Let's go around here, Barry. Okay. If you had to pick one thing that we had to do to beat the Bucs on Monday night, one thing, like what is the main thing? Like a certain player has to play a certain way. We got to shut down someone. What do you think's the main thing we got to do?
Composure from our quarterback.
Yep.
That's it.
I like it. You just think Dak just needs to look the part.
Just look the part, man.
Yeah,
just do what you're supposed to do. Don't look fidgety. Like that's the thing. When I watch him, man, it just looks like he has zero confidence. And for you to force feed passes to a guy in Noah Brown, that's literally, he's a blocking receiver. He's not somebody that's ever going to catch 80 passes in a season. So he should never be used like that. If you want to give him 4 or 5 targets a game, that's fine. But I need to see CeeDee Lamb get 15 to 16 targets every game.
Hell yeah.
That's how it should be. 15 to 16 targets. He should not have 8 targets, 9 targets. He should have 15, 16, 17 targets every game.
No matter what.
Everybody that's saying things about Gallup, we got to understand the guy's coming off an ACL injury. It's going to take him this entire season to get right. By next season, he's going to be a completely different Gallup. He's going to be back to normal. But ACL injuries are tough, man. So, I would love to see T.Y. kind of get those receptions or those targets that Noah Brown is getting. That's what I want to see.
Definitely.
Yeah. Rebuttal in the chat about ACL tears. EJ Savage brought up that Chris Godwin is coming off an ACL tear and he has over 1,000 yards. Obviously, different systems.
When did he tear it?
He started the season very, very slow though,
and when
he wasn't looking so good.
And when did he tear it? Because I don't know when he tore it, but Gallup tore his in week 16 or 17.
Yeah, it was late.
It was one of the last games of the season. So if Godwin was a little bit sooner in the year, maybe he's had 2 or 3 months more. I don't know. I'm just going off of Gallup.
Also, too, let's keep in mind, Godwin's a better player.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's a better player.
Okay, AJ, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, sure. I think we've seen, first of all, I think on the
good points, Barry, by the way.
Yeah, on the wide receiver note, the Cowboys, they've covered it up, but if we just take a step back and look high level, look how many wide receiver movements they made throughout the season. They were never confident that Gallup was going to be Gallup.
Well, they signed T.Y. Hilton, a month ago, right?
Washington, like they were, whether or not it was just for publicity, like I wouldn't put that past Jerry, but they were in the OBJ talk. So, but past that, we've seen the Cowboys play well on both sides of the ball, just not at the same time often enough. And we've seen the defense win games and the offense win games. What they need to do is have that come together on the same time and do it for 4 games in a row here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They're in a position of a lot of players and as a team, players individually and as a team, they're facing adversity. So hopefully they have a strong voice in that locker room who can get people to those who need it, who aren't capable enough to do it themselves, which is not a weakness at all, but help them take that and use it as a strength to go out there and prove people wrong, right? Because they are football players and they're physical, but it does affect you, right? Like you get enough people saying shit to you, whether it be online, even if you think it's silly, well, it doesn't matter. It's still in effect.
Well, there's proof of that. Trevon Diggs, how many times has he blocked his Twitter and then let it up? And then, so obviously they do hear noise, right? Like they hear the noise.
And that gets in your head and then that can affect you. So I'm just hoping, I think if it's a little, not really on the field, but I hope that within the locker room, they're coming together as a team and talking about these same things that we are. And they have shown, if we saw that combination of strong defense, strong offense together, that's the best team in the NFL. I don't think anyone's stopping that team.
They just need to actually do it.
They just need to do it.
Ad, you want me to go? Or are you still mulling
No,
years about? You got one.
No, I can go. I definitely think that we got to shake Brady up early on.
Oh, you motherfucker!
So
I stole it.
He stole it. He fucking,
Stance was just like
stole it.
2 down, 1 to go.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is you got Tom Brady and Mike Evans coming off of a pretty decent last couple games together, and then it's playoffs. So this is Tom Brady's domain. We have to shake him up early. We have to get him frustrated. We have to get him yelling at the sideline for breaking up his marriage and all of that. Like, we have to get him. Micah Parsons,
offensive line.
Yeah. Micah Parsons and D-Law, Dono, Dorrance, they all have to get in his head, because if we allow him to start picking apart our secondaries with fucking Mullen back there, like it's not.
I don't know if Mullen's gonna play, but I know what you mean.
But so what are we gonna get for our secondaries, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's only one T Diggs out there, and even T Diggs might have some struggles. We have no clue. So hit him, punch him in the nose, and let our offense work, because it's all hearsay if our offense can't do it. So we have to play both sides of the ball, and our offense has to, I think, like Barry said, get it to CeeDee Lamb more, like just force it down CeeDee Lamb's throat. Stop trying to fucking get chemistry with players that can't produce the yardage.
Yeah.
Schulte's our safety guy. Schulte needs to get into those 4 or 5 yards on that first D.
Have you thought, like, sorry to cut you off, Ad, but I'm just
no one sort of cut me off.
It's fresh in my head when you brought it up. Does it seem like the Schultz Dak connection's not as efficient as this year as it was last year?
I agree. Yeah.
Like, it feels a little bit off.
Because I think Dak is off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which and so, like, we need to do to Brady what Dak is playing like right now.
Facts. Get rid of his confidence.
So
listen, both quarterbacks are playing like shit, and something got to give.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something got to give.
And it's either going to be. I've wanted to see a gunslinging event from Dak this year. I want him to come out like fucking Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral and just start shooting people's faces off.
Not me.
And it hasn't happened.
No, I want to see him just do fucking.
Well, yeah,
real nice soft tosses.
Every time, this is the first. I said this last week. This is the first season really that I've watched him, and every time he drops back, I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
and then. What flashes in my mind as we're laughing about this is that fucking dime he throws to Ty.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't want him to not do that.
No, you still need.
You gotta have the confidence to do that.
His issues in most of his interceptions have been these out routes and then post patterns in the middle of the field. I don't know what it is. He's either overthrowing his receiver and throwing it into the cover 3 guy, or he's throwing it directly to the DB on the outside. He just can't make those. Those have been, and then the other ones. So those, I would say, they're the majority, and then the other ones are the ones where the receivers have tipped it into the other player's hands. But those 2 types of routes, those concepts, he just doesn't have it this year.
Last two things before we move on to your point, Ants. One, crack him if you got him, boys.
Yeah, crack him if you got him, son. Get it in you, kid.
Ooh. And 2, I think, unlike you, I'm very confident this week. We're coming off of a loss, a pathetic loss, a pathetic performance. That defense is going to be fired up. So I absolutely think our defense is going to show up. So yes, this is probably the most pressure that Dak Prescott is going to have on him right now.
This is a legacy game for him, man. It is
150%. I will be wearing my number 4 jersey.
Shit, yeah, you will.
Because I am confident, and I want to give all the, because I know fans, specifically podcast hosts on the number 1 Dallas Cowboys podcast in the world,
woot woot,
can help alter the game with positive vibes. So
I'm double down.
You're gonna wear this one? This thing's gonna look like a fucking moo-moo on you. It's massive.
Yeah, great.
Fucking A, I'll be in style. I'll be in style.
French tuck the front shirt, make it look stylish. You'll be good, doggy.
Tape the sleeves up.
Hey, if it's long enough, if it's long enough, I go no pants.
I'll go get. No. It's fine. It's fine. I'll go ask Riker if you could borrow his Dak Prescott jersey. My son, my 9-year-old son. I'll go get it. I'll go get it for you, AJ. But he'll be going to school wearing a Cowboys jersey and a Cowboys hat, and I'll be saying, go out there and make sure you're beaking off to your friends.
And I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna go over to him. I'm gonna be like, Uncle Ant says if there's a kid wearing a Brady jersey, you can punch him in the face.
Yeah.
It's all right to get suspended in some regards. Okay,
right in the dick.
Yeah, punch him right in that dick hole. What do you got, Ant?
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm not gonna go offense, defense, or special teams. I'm gonna go Mike McCarthy. I can't see any mental errors from the coaching staff this game, because that is just as important as anything on the field. The way we handle timeouts, the way we handle challenges, the way we handle the play calling in the 2-minute drive. Last year against San Francisco, we ran a fucking draw play with 14 seconds left. I can't have mistakes like that. This has to be
with no timeouts. We
talked about Dak Prescott having a legacy game. Mike McCarthy can't have his ass get handed to him on Monday night. In my belief, I said it all year, if he didn't make it past the wild card round, and Jerry came out and said he's not on the hot seat, but it should put him on the hot seat. You always need to be advancing. You can't go 12-5 both years and then fizzle out in round one. So my thing for us to win is Mike McCarthy has to coach the game of his life.
I don't want to, but this might spawn into it.
Spawn it.
So,
sorry, AJ, before you do that, I have to.
Hey,
Dog's in the house.
So,
Dog.
Regardless of what happens in the season, we look forward to a bunch of contracts and a bunch of money and this coaching scenario. In my mind, the Cowboys are at a crossroads after this season.
Yes,
they are.
New coach, and blow up the team, essentially. Keep the parts that are really important. Diggs, Parsons, CD Lamb. Do you keep Tony Pollard? I don't know. That's a rough
it's gonna be tough
position. Or do you get as much picks? They're in that position. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
The only issue with that, AJ, and I do agree with you, but you'll find teams usually do that when they don't have like 3 very good young players. Like you only have a window with Diggs, Parsons, and CD Lamb as being completely blowing up the team. I do know what you're saying.
You know what? It's the time. I guess in my mind, I'm thinking video game style. And
you're mad and you're like, oh,
I'm like trade value.
6 seasons, only 2 hours away. Let's just sim through this.
but it's all. Absolutely, but that's the point. Is like it's the trade value. Okay, if you wait a year or two, now the trade value goes, and then you end up doing the same thing.
Yep.
So I'm kind of a Band-Aid, rip the Band-Aid off and let's do it guy. But I don't want to. This is my Dallas Cowboys team. Like I'm new, so like these are my boys, and that's rough. It's not like I know it's inevitable that eventually it's not gonna. But I don't want to see it
fade away.
I can't wait for the 30 or so videos that we're gonna do in the off season about AJ GMing the Dallas Cowboys for next season, like all his like scenarios.
You're definitely gonna have to give him a segment, man.
Oh yeah. It'll all be Madden specific.
What do you think, Barry?
Listen, I like it, man. I have 2 things that I think one is for the game for Sunday.
Yep.
And going for the playoffs.
Monday.
The other one pertains to Dak.
Okay.
So the first one is about Micah, and it's about Dan Quinn.
Micah.
I think it's time for Dan Quinn to take the restricted plate off of Micah and let him be the hybrid player that he is.
Yep.
He's not a edge rusher. He is a hybrid player. Ray Lewis was never put at edge rusher. He's a middle linebacker, right? He dominated at middle linebacker. Let Micah be all over the field, because if you put him all over the field, it's hard to game plan for that. You can game plan for an edge rusher. You can triple team him and all that other stuff.
Hold him all fucking day.
If you move him around, it's harder to be able to game plan for a guy like that. And you give him more confidence to be able to make plays. You have Leighton Vander Esch, you've got the other guys coming back. Move him around. Let him go and attack in different situations, man. That's the one thing for this game and just the rest of the playoffs. I want to just see him be the hybrid player that he is.
I like that you said rest of playoffs, insinuating we're fucking taking those bitches down on Monday.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, boy.
I want to see them win. I'm not, Brady is Brady, right? I have my nightmares about that man, right? But we are the better team. We have to show that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The next thing is Dak Prescott. I think if Dallas, they need to stop gaslighting us as fans. If you really think that Dak Prescott is your guy, he's your franchise quarterback, then behave like it in regards to the weapons that you give him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the timeline. What was it, 3 years ago or 2 years ago? Dallas was 3-5. Dak looked bad. They traded for Amari Cooper. The team takes off.
Became playoff team right then and there.
Right. You give him the best route runner, arguably in football. You got, it's Amari Cooper, it's Cooper Kupp, it's Devontae Adams. Those three are the best route runners in the game. Right? You now take him out of this season. Dak looks lost without him because you don't have guys that run really crisp routes on this team. CeeDee Lamb is a great talent, but he's not a great route runner like Amari Cooper is. He's a better talent than Amari Cooper is. He's not a better route runner. Dak needs somebody that runs precise, crisp routes. And if you want him to exceed or succeed and excel, you need to go get him DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that'd be epic.
Go get him DeAndre Hopkins and go get him somebody that can be able to be a route running receiver that can be able to get separation and be good no matter what the quarterback is. You need to get him somebody that does time routes and runs their route tree to perfection.
That's exactly that's exactly as you were saying that. That's exactly what Bryson from Carving It Up podcast said in the chat. D-Hop is available.
So what?
You're right on the same page as him.
Why
Bryce is my guy?
Why is what's up, Bryce? Why is route running so important? Having a person
you get separation.
AJ, it's timing. It's timing. So routes are normally timing. Everything, like if you got a guy that is fast and over the top, you can throw that over the top and hope for the best. But timing is everything. And that's why Cooper Kupp is so good. Cooper Kupp is not a burner. Cooper Kupp is not strong, but Cooper Kupp is going to school you when it comes to those first 5 yards.
Yeah, him and that Amish beard. You're not going to be able
to school him because his footwork is impeccable. So that matters. It matters.
Right. And what I want, does CeeDee Lamb, his type of receiver, does
he's mostly a slot guy, right? He needs He needs open space. So where Amari Cooper and these other guys, they can line up out wide, and the way that they're going to be where they're supposed to be all the time, and if they are at that spot, they're going to be able to sometimes be there with a yard of separation, which is massive in the NFL.
But do those players? And I think I believe that the answer is yes. But those players improve the game of a guy like CeeDee Lamb because they're
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of the schemes are set up because they have a player cutting at this part in the field because it's going to open up. If that read's not available, then it's going to open up the other read, and it's important that they draw the DB away from that. I'm thinking of a Madden play.
No, but I know what you're... On the podcast prior to the season,
there's more to the wide receivers than just
just catching a ball. You got to think these guys are battling every single play. It's a chess match. They're on a one-on-one chess match with the guy they're going against, right?
So
they're setting guys. Sometimes they're setting up. They know, say on the first drive where they got scripted plays. They talk about this kind of stuff. They might try to set a guy up for something in 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And the Chris, what they say about wide receivers is you should be able to run, crack him if you got him. You should be able to run, say you're running like the route tree, your first 3 steps should almost look the exact same no matter what route you're running.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you go from there, right? So, Amari Cooper's awesome.
Most of the great receivers in the history of football weren't burners. They were great route runners.
Think of Larry especially and longevity, Larry Fitzgerald, Jerry Rice. These are dudes that can do it for so long because they don't need speed. I mean, Jason Witten, one of the slowest fucking guys ever to play in the NFL, had a long career, very successul career because the guy knew how to run routes and he knew how to deceive the defensive backs
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, exactly. There's just it's such an important position or such an important skill at that position. And at the start of the season, we all wanted Amari Cooper to still be on this football team.
So in hindsight, would
it's 2020.
Would Amari Cooper, we're at the end of the 2022-2023 season now, regular season. Would Amari Cooper have improved the Cowboys' play? Yay or nay? Throw it out.
Yes,
100%.
I agree too.
Okay.
100%.
We didn't do anything even with the money we saved from him.
That's true. Well, Peters.
Yeah, I guess.
But you could look. It's the NFL. You can shuffle and find $10 million under a carpet.
My issue is
And also too, we got to remember, right? They drafted that kid fucking Tolbert to be a factor this year.
Third round.
And he wasn't. So
that was a miss.
That really
hurt
the kibosh on the plans because we can get rid of Cooper because we're gonna bring this young kid along. He needs time, a lot of time.
Well, is he gonna play?
I hope. I hope they have.
Hope next season. I would hope. If
better
you got
be
a guy that you draft and he can't play 2 years in. It's time to cut bait.
It sucks when you see them draft somebody and you don't like. I want to see him get a couple of plays. Like literally, he should have the nickname of Ghost. Man. He should have the nickname of Ghost instead of T.Y. Hilton.
No, his nickname's Scratch.
Scratch.
You got some questions?
Yeah, well, I got a question while you're bringing something else up, and this is from EJ Savage. I have a question for everyone on the show. Rank these players from the most important to least important. Should be getting them back for playoffs. Bidas, Hankins, and LVE.
We'll let Barry go.
Oh, so rank them in the order. Which one's the most important?
Rank them in order. Wow. Biotish is 1.
I said Biotish.
Yeah. Biotish is 1. LVE is 2, and Hankins is 3.
I'm going to agree with that too. That's pretty much the run game, the snapping, such an important part. LVE's been way more of a help and more of a asset this season than I thought he would have been. You've noticed it with him out, and then another big body. Yeah. Obviously, it's good to have him back, but that would be my order too. I'm happy to have all 3 back. But that would be my order too.
Luckily, we don't have to pick.
Yeah, right. You can pick 2 of these 3 to come back.
If you had to,
fuck, Mary kill.
But if you had to only bring 2 back,
that's a good one.
It'd be the top 2, I think.
Yeah, it'd be Biotish and LVE.
Yeah,
I guess that makes the most sense. Look, it's a little bit of recency biased, I guess, because we saw the offense putter right out from the get-go. So I guess that's we need help on offense. Anything can help.
I have a question. Out of all the guys that have been injured this year, I know this is it's never going to happen, but if you could, one player that is out for season right now with an injury, which one do you think would have the biggest impact being on the team right now?
Jordan Lewis.
I think there's probably 3 guys that could be 1A, 1B, and 1C. Yeah. So what are you guys? Barry's got Jordan Lewis.
I'm going the opposite side with Brown, but just because I watched him more and hated him more based off. I'm bandwagon on Ants, and not obviously he's a Cowboy. I love the dude, but I don't know.
So you're going Brown?
Yeah. Relationship with Cowboys Nation. Trust me, we all feel the same about Brown. We all do.
Yeah, so Brown, I would say.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's
I'm going Terrence Steele, baby. Terrence Steele
was a good one.
Terrence Steele was
damn.
He was that guy. If he would have played the rest of the year, I think he would have made a push for the Pro Bowl. The guy was playing pretty well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He should have made it anyway.
He should have. Up until he was pretty much. He had to be close.
Yeah,
I don't need to say mine because really AJ said mine. I'll stick with AJ. I was gonna say Steele, but no, I'm sticking with you. Bandwagon's Boys Unite.
BW 1 and 2 saying let's go.
Just fact of the matter is, I mean, and it's sad that we're saying Brown, but obviously we've struggled in that area with.
I don't think he was as bad as people let on him. Yeah, he got burned occasionally, but fuck, he's not any worse than what we've been putting out there.
I just see with the emergence of, I mean, it wouldn't have happened, but with the emergence of Bland and Wright's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Okay. He's shown some really.
I like Nashawn Wright. I do. I do like him. I think he has a little potential.
And he's got that body type.
His body, really man.
Yeah, he's four, man.
He's a beast. He's a monster.
If he can put it together and give him time, but he's had some really good moments and then he's had some really bad moments where you see his number chasing someone too much.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those players where you're like, fuck right. And then you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
but fucking right.
Bland, I think, is really interesting.
Bland's been awesome.
If he gets
Bland's good,
man. If he gets the right development, just think we got Diggs and Bland.
But that's what.
But that's why I just think Brown there would help to
exactly
just give us a little bit more of that I don't know.
The best part about
guaranteed floor.
The best thing about that is, like Barry said with Jordan Lewis, that guy's back next year. And I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but that's what we do on the Can Fan podcast,
Absolutely.
baby.
He's special, man.
It's like we have like next year with everyone healthy. And I mean, there is a couple guys that are going to be hitting free agency, but like our young group of DBs, there's some guys there that are looking pretty damn good.
Everybody better stop trying them.
Yeah,
and stop trying them.
They say, and I crack them if you got them. They say, and I believe that there's a lot you can teach in the NFL if you have those physical traits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're working with the best people, and they can unlock some talent. I don't know if it's super relevant, guys, but there's, I think it's worth bringing up because it's fun. Cowboys Micah Parsons rips NFL players, and I don't know if he actually did.
He's not ripping the
I know,
NFL players.
It's a clickbait.
Inarguable all-pro team, so it's more at the people that voted.
Yeah, and it's fuck that list.
Well,
I'll say it for him.
They also didn't put. Yeah, there you go. That's man. I'm in playoff mode. Fuck that list. Like that's.
So what was this? Explain this list.
Doesn't matter to him.
It's the all-pro list. It's the guys that so that's the list. The all-pro is what matters. That's the best players. Pro Bowl means fucking nothing.
Right. Okay.
All-pro is the best of the best of the best that season.
And that's playing in the season, not like over a series, not like
that's for the 2022 season.
Right. Okay. And he didn't make the fucking list?
I guess not, man. But
they do say only 2 off-ball linebackers.
Yeah, and I think it was Fred Warner and Roquan Smith were the 2.
Right there.
So I bet you Micah ends up being on there's the all-pro team 1 and all-pro team 2. He'll probably be on the all-pro team. Who gives a fuck though? Realistically, like
right, exactly.
But
who gives a fuck?
What is that one?
That's Barry.
That was a Barry.
Barry.
That's awesome.
It sucks It sucks whenever we have a Zoom guest, we don't do sound effects because for whatever reason, like if I play sound effects, you won't be able to hear it the way it is. So we just kind of go local. So that kind of when you ran them, it's like that's right. We do sound effects on the show.
But I love the attitude.
Oh, me too.
Right?
I love it, man. I'm in playoff mode.
Yeah.
F you double star that list.
That's what I want to see, man.
Yeah.
You mentioned that earlier, Barry, and that's the thing is like, I think Micah's in that point. He probably still feels like a young NFL player, even though everyone looks at him to expect veteran stats out of this guy. He's he just finished his second full year of NFL football. And but I think it's appropriate now to be at that cusp where it's like,
are you going to be good or are you going to be great?
Exactly. And he can start to manifest a little bit of that leadership if it's within him in his own way and hopefully become that player because third year, I mean, you're an NFL.
Yeah, you're a vet at that point. You are. The average NFL career is 3 years. So at 3 years, you're a vet. 4 years, you're ahead of the majority of the guys that have ever played in the NFL.
Training wheels are off. I'm not saying they were ever on, but I think this is a point, and it kind of is a very appropriate time that he could. We won't see what's happening in the back, but I think this is the time where he can fill that leadership void and come in and be that voice. And he's got lots of support around him, obviously. And if Micah Parsons speaks, everyone's gonna fucking listen. Right. But he does have those. He's been able to play with Coach Lawrence, and D-Law is, I think, that he's been that leadership voice for him, a guy who's fucking played in the NFL at a high level for his entire career.
Getting close. Yeah. He's always been really good. D-Law's always been a beast.
Third season starts for them Monday.
Yeah, so son.
Everything else is inconsequential. Like,
exactly.
Nothing matters.
Yeah. Nothing matters.
Do or die, baby.
Do or die, baby. Like we lose Monday, we're out.
Don't even.
So Micah Parsons he knows what it's like to be one and done. He felt that last year.
Facts.
You now need to be talking to yourself all this week. I know what that was like. It is not going to happen on my watch.
Yeah. Because the thing is, the one thing about young players is that we see it all the time. We see guys have pretty decent rookie seasons. Then there's a lot of expectation on them year 2, and then they don't really meet that expectation, right? So Micah, 11 sacks through 11 games. And then the last 7 games or last 6 games, he only had 2.5 sacks or something like that. So this guy he understands the pressure that's on him. He's frustrated. He's trying to make things happen. And, this is where legends are made. This is where you get your money. It's not about all the regular season BS that you can do. It's about how you can be able to imprint your dominance in the playoffs. And, that's what it's all about. That's what Cowboys Nation is looking for.
And no one's
care about. You can get 30 sacks in the regular season. If you don't do that in the playoffs, I don't care.
If we come out and Brady doesn't get sacked once, we're fucked. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly.
If we don't get to Brady,
time, he's gonna kill you.
We're done. Well, that's facts.
Well, where do you guys think we have this? And we have the CBSSports.com article.
Like, I don't want to be able to talk Tuesday.
Now, this is written by one dude. So if you have a quarrel with this,
Cody Benjamin.
Go after Cody Benjamin, not us. But he's ranking. We're gonna look at this and we're gonna make our own comments. Ranking the 2023 NFL playoff QBs.
Okay. List of 14, but we got to guess first. Where's Dak going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's Dak? Where's Dak going to be on this list, boys?
I'm gonna have to say I looked already.
Fellas, no, you didn't.
I did.
You fucking bastard.
Yeah.
And I've never been.
I know. So I can't. I looked because you put it in there, and I got curious, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so Barry, where do you?
I have to go last.
Yeah, you. Well, you don't get to go. I have to go last because I'm gonna pick the right.
I'll tell you what I thought he should be.
Okay, Barry, what do you think? Where out of the 14 quarterbacks left in the playoffs,
and
Dak Prescott.
we know you're an actor, so even if you're lying, we're not going to be able to tell.
Damn. I would say Dak is 12.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to think here. Let's do something here.
Okay, so and part of the game too, we can't take somebody else's number. Barry took my number.
You were gonna say 12?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so you got 12. I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking
No,
here.
I can't. Barry took 12.
Okay, so what? You're gonna say 11?
No, I'm gonna go a little 9.
You're gonna say 9? See
no,
that?
No, hang on. Oh, hang on.
What? You're gonna look at the article too now?
No.
10. A 10. A fucking 10.
He's 10.
You're going 10? Okay. So I'm going to think he's got to be ahead of Kirk Cousins. He's got to be ahead of Daniel Jones. He's got to be ahead of Brock Purdy in my mind. Who else is in there? He's got to be ahead of Geno Smith. So there's at least 4 dudes. So that's putting him right in ads range. I'm going to
put him in the top 10.
I'm going to Price is Right you and go 9.
Oh, you pussy.
Okay, and I'm gonna.
You're gonna scroll and read
what
cheated.
What did you initially think? No, you don't tell us.
Honestly, what I initially thought was 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
so
I
AJ,
knew.
You thinking with 6?
Yeah, because
since you already know. I mean, you do know. So
I do know.
Ask you.
No. I said I was
a great actor too.
I can't stick with 6, guys. I'm sorry, but but I said that, and then as I was reading, I was like, oh.
There's a lot of talent in these. There's a lot of good dudes.
And also, I was like, oh, super recency bias. I've used that term so much in this podcast, but I love it.
I hear a new word in a podcast or on a YouTube video I'm watching. I use it that week every time.
But I totally knew he's gonna get shafted. So let's have a look here, and we'll go through.
Let's have a look. See?
Relatively, Barry, can you see as well?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool.
Number
one, I don't think there's any.
Don't disrespect my CTO.
Number 1 and 2, one and 2, no questions.
No questions.
So for the listeners, if you're listening to Spotify, fuck you. You should be listening on YouTube so you can see what we're showing you. 1 is Patrick Mahomes, 2 is Josh Allen, no surprises. 3 Joe Burrow, 4 Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts has 4.
5 Justin Herbert.
I would put Herbert at 4.
I honestly, I think I would have switched Herbert and Hurts also. Hurts having a great season, but it's not because he's it's because of other things than strictly his quarterbacking ability.
Right.
The guy's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Tom Brady at 6.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, who I forgot was even in the playoffs because he's been out of the NFL for so long and hasn't really had an impact. Brock Purdy at 8.
Listen, Brock Purdy is balling right now.
He's balling right now, but I don't know. He's never. I guess you'll see after this.
Yeah.
After this postseason.
Yeah.
You know,
People
again,
believe in the hype. I'm kind of on that train too. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it the quarterback or is it because he has a Pro Bowl team on offense?
Could be a
I
bit of
honestly
both.
think that he's played a really good quarterback.
He's
man.
been
very poised.
He's been a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo with that offense. I'll say that.
I think he's the franchise quarterback.
I agree. Mr. Not so irrelevant. See what I did there?
Just a thing about Brock Purdy is it just lined up that the scheme and his skill set is just clicking.
And he literally has Pro Bowls at every level.
Absolutely.
Everywhere.
Kittle, Samuel, Christian McCaffrey,
Debo. You said.
the Trent Williams. Like literally that offense is nothing against him. Super punchable face though. Look at that face.
Would you say? And you can't say the Cowboys, but would you say outside of all of the teams that San Fran is one of the scariest teams?
San Fran's the scariest team.
I think they're the scariest team. Honestly.
They're definitely the scariest team
Most
in the postseason.
well-rounded. Trevor Lawrence.
I forgot about Trevor Lawrence. So what? Maybe
Okay.
so. Did Ad get 10? There's no way. Did Barry get 12? Kirk Cousins, get the fuck out of here!
Come on, give me 12.
Get the fuck.
It's gonna be 11.
Give me 12.
Dak Prescott at 11.
Dak Prescott sandwiched between Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones slipping in like, "Hey, stranger."
I don't know if I agree with that Kirk Cousins there.
I think they gypped him with Kirk Cousins.
You think so? Yeah.
I think that's an unfair.
Cousins-
I think everything else is arguable.
Cousins has had some playoff success though.
Yeah, but like when you look at
fair enough.
It should be like divisional stuff. Like if this quarterback has beat you in this season, you should be higher than both of them. Like Kirk Cousins didn't even put up any touchdowns when they played them.
Yeah, I the only one if Dak was at 10, I could have. The only thing I'm really I even can make an argument for Brock Purdy. Kirk Cousins, I don't know.
Well, technically,
I mean, listen, guys, we have to think about this list differently, right? They're talking about signal callers.
Yep.
So how guys call the game, the poise, how they have their offense looking, all of those things matter, right? We're not just talking about head to head and how Dak looks at times. Like signal callers, Dak hasn't looked that confident as a signal caller.
Can you put a Lamar Jackson ahead of him then? Because I think Lamar kind of fits into that too. Like I don't think Lamar's.
Well, Kahuna in the chat saying that Tua and Lamar should both be voided because they've been injured and they've been struggling.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough to make a list of the guys if you're gonna not include guys or disqualify guys.
This list is
put them somewhere.
Crack him if you got him, AJ. This list is gonna get a lot more clear after this weekend, though.
Can you scroll? Who do we got at 13 and 14?
Fucking dog.
Geno Smith.
Oh yeah, Tua's not even playing.
No.
I feel
I
feel bad for Miami because them with Tua is a completely different team.
And Miami, here's the thing with Tua. This injury is very scary for Tua.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's the second or third.
It's the third.
And I watched, if you guys remember the NHL growing up, Eric Lindros, big Canadian hero, salute. He was a monster on the ice, a huge player, and his fucking career, NHL career floundered and was plagued with concussions. And this was back before they even...
Steve Young?
This was back before they cared enough to keep players off.
So imagine how bad he actually was. He's just walking around like Rocky all the time, punch drunk as fuck.
So Tua could, like, I really hope this isn't the case, but I have to say it because we're chatting. This could be something that ends his career.
Starts taking a look at it.
AJ, they got to shut him down.
Yeah.
They have to.
Man, Dak at what was it? 11? You should have won 11.
Boots had a bold prediction saying that San Fran is getting sent home first round.
Imagine that. Could you imagine the Seahawks go to San Fran? I mean, as I'm going to say this right now, any team that's not San Fran should be rooting for Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Like granted we need to first beat Tampa, but I'm rooting for Seattle. Sorry, Nate Dogg, but I'm going for Seattle this week.
That's a compliment.
San Fran's scary. They're the scary team in the NFC right now.
Yeah. The best defense in the league right now, fellas.
Okay, guys, before we go to score predictions and bold predictions.
That Ants won't be partaking
I'm not partaking in.
That you're not partaking in. So maybe you can run the show.
I'll run it.
But before we do that, Barry.
Yes.
We had an ending here to our first inaugural Can Fan Fantasy Football League.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Where Bandwagon Boys were playing the what was it? You were just Cowboys Can Fan. So it ended with us having
like 0.4 less than me or something.
0.4 less or a
something
point
like
less,
that.
something close. But we had Josh Allen on the bench, and Anth had
the kicker
for the Bengals. It ended because of that. So technically on the app, Anth has won the championship.
Well, I mean, I have the most points.
Now, where I'm stuck is I'm
You're the
kind of in the commissioner position. And so what I would have done outside of as I would have said, those two players, we take the points from week 18, and that's the season. However, I also am a play it where it lies type of guy. So I kind of want to throw to you. How do you think,
for someone who didn't make the championship game?
Okay, well, first off, I just want to say this before I even get to the resolution of this conundrum here, is that this league is rigged. The fact that the Cowboys, the Can Fan boys and Ant are in the finals, rigged. Completely rigged. You know, so now going into next season, I'm gonna have to think about being in this corrupt league. That's one. Two,
Canadian corruptors. Yeah.
Two, if I were you, AJ, I would Vince McMahon this shit and just awarded a tie. It'd be co-winners.
I'm okay with that.
Of the league. Co-winners of the league.
We're calling it a draw.
We're calling it a draw.
This is a
draw.
This is a co-win. We have two champions. We have the Cowboys, Can Fan Anth, and the Bandwagon Boys.
I would have it no other way than all three of you guys are just winners. Just
I'm
take
so
it like that.
I'm so glad we rigged this thing.
You know what?
We even rigged it to tie.
You know what I think we're gonna do? We'll just we're gonna take anything that we would have put into this and just save it, and eventually when we have that Can Fan barbecue with everyone and
right.
live chat and whenever it might be in the next, say, 1 month to 5 years, it'll just go towards that. But anyways,
I think next year we should have a fun stipulation for who wins and who loses, who has the worst record and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We can
absolutely
spice it up a bit.
We already did the loser of the league's not allowed in the league next year. I think one team kind of quit halfway through the season anyways.
Yeah.
So they out.
You'll always find somebody that does that.
Yeah.
we're gonna have we will probably have an opening at least, or two perhaps. Or more.
We might I might just do it again. Like obviously Barry's gonna be in it, but then like the guys that we kind of deal with quite a bit. But then I'm gonna just do another.
We can always expand it too.
What we should do,
bigger.
because I hope we continue to do it every single year, is we kind of make it like the European football, where there's a Premier League and a Champions League and stuff. So
and you have to win.
You have to win to get up. So the bottom two drop and the top two come up.
That would be funny.
I like that.
Because I think we could probably easily
could
get 20 to 24 people that will want.
Well, we got lots of time to talk about that. Let's get into these score predictions and these bold predictions. Starting with, I'm gonna go with Adam.
Okay. So
Adam, can you come in front? Was it Boner?
Was it Boner? Was Boner one of them? So my score prediction for the game is going to be 27-21 Cowboys.
Nice.
Okay, I like that.
That's a
good game.
There's a lot of pressure on me. That's a very Barry Grant Jr. score prediction. I kept it. I didn't go into the 30s. I kept it 27-21.
Very, very solid, man.
This has to be
very even.
One of the first times Ad didn't go 40 or 50.
And okay, my bold prediction ties into my score prediction, so I'll wait.
No, shoot.
Yeah, go it. Just double down.
Up until the fourth quarter, the Bucs are only going to have 6 points.
Wow.
That's your bold prediction. I like it. Very specific. But so for that to happen, for your score prediction to happen, then they'll have had to miss, either got a touchdown and missed the point after, or have 2 field goals.
Yeah.
I don't listen to logistics when I'm making my bold predictions. Okay?
You go from the heart. I like it.
Exactly. I didn't think about all that stuff.
Guess what? I didn't think about that bullshit. What if they got?
I didn't think about that bullshit.
It doesn't tie in at all.
It can. It still can. You can still get 21 if you have 6.
No.
Yeah, you just have to have 1 2-point conversion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
There we go,
okay.
bitch.
Okay.
And when
Wow.
Tom Brady's coming in and he's trying to slang and bang at the end in that fourth quarter, that's when he's going to get those 2 points.
It actually does make sense because that means it would be 21-21. They would have somehow, the Cowboys would have been up 21-6. The Bucs would come back. They would get a touchdown. They would be conservative and kick the point after.
What happened?
Then they would score
What
the
did I
next
say?
touchdown, have to go for 2, get it, and then the Cowboys would win in overtime. They wouldn't have to kick a point after, and they would have 27.
Sorry, I was just precogging.
Wow.
I was just precogging.
Maybe
What happened?
Ad just... Did he
If
just...
you precog this, I'm gonna be weirded out. I can't come over anymore.
Yeah, I can't be your brother anymore.
What happened? Who's fighting? Who's on?
All right, Barry Grant.
Barry. Oh, Barry's here? Hey, Barry.
Barry Grant, what is your score prediction and your bold prediction for the playoff game this Monday night?
You know, I've been talking to Bryson all week, and shouts to Bryson.
Shout
Carving
out.
It Up podcast. Please
Carving it
listen
up.
to that
Very bright young
man
guy.
knows his stuff. I was really down on the Cowboys, this whole week, but today I'm kind of feel a little better. I'm gonna go 23-17 Dallas.
Another low scoring one. Defensive matchup. I like it.
I like that he
17 Dallas.
I like that he picked Dallas.
Yeah.
And what about that boldy? Do you got a bold?
Bold prediction, man.
Shane O'Mac off the Jumbotron.
Bold prediction. I have T.Y. Hilton, 5 catches and a touchdown.
Nice.
Ooh, I
would love that. Get TY going. I mean, it's the time. He's been with the team long enough now. It's time to start producing. It's time to be that second, that number 2.
I'm gonna go just with your standard issue, 28-24 Cowboys. Okay.
What standard issue about that?
Just like it just seems like a real standard score.
AJ simmed the game 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And that's the score
You
that
guys
was
don't
most
know.
likely.
You don't.
Score that normally comes up.
You don't sim Madden as much as me.
He does the scene with Doctor Strange at the end of that one of Avengers. He's like, I ran the simulation 998 million times. There is only one thing to do.
Right.
28-24.
and he puts up the
And my boldy is going to be LV comes back.
Oh God!
And gets either a sack or 4 or more tackles for a loss.
4 tackles for a loss.
Yeah, he's coming hard.
He's coming hard.
He's coming hard.
I like that we didn't go too crazy with the bold predictions. I like that they're all realistic.
Hey, listen. There's no we here, okay?
I'm glad you guys all went pretty realistic with the bold predictions because I don't think we've hit a bold prediction all year.
Actually, that's not true. I will take that back. There is a we. Even people who are on the IR list, they still get a Super Bowl ring, so you can still partake in this.
Perfect. I'm always the most bravado and yelling shit out. I'm just not doing it this time.
Okay. And guess what? You have to keep the trend.
Exactly. So and you got to keep this. If they continue to ride this wave, that's it.
No fucking
That's
problem.
it.
No fucking
No gambling, no score predicting, no nothing.
Well, you can't stop me from gambling.
Does he have a problem? Does he have a problem?
All right. Well, I mean, I thought that was a pretty good show, boys. We talked a lot about the Cowboys, the Tampa Bay massive playoff game coming up this Monday night. Like I said, I am nervous. We're probably gonna. What are we gonna kick it off, guys? An hour before?
I mean, it would be nice to do.
I'll try. Yeah, we can try.
No. There's no we trying.
Yes.
There. You tell your employer.
I don't have to, guess what? I don't have to tell anybody.
Exactly. So then, what do you? So by saying you trying, you're just lying to Alex and I and Barry. You just lied to Barry Grant. You just lied to Barry Grant Jr.
Barry,
Don't lie to me.
I would never lie.
All right, we're gonna try to be live an hour before the game on Monday night.
I thought all this bullshit about try, and then all of a sudden you start to say, "We'll try to be." No,
I'll be here. I will be here.
Hey, we'll be an hour.
Okay.
An hour
There we
before
go.
game.
What time's the game?
Period, motherfucker.
Game's at I think 5:15.
I like it.
5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. or 8:15 or EST.
Oh, aren't you glad you're on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm on the West Coast. All right, Barry, we appreciate having anything you give a shout out to yourself because I kind of fucked Ad's intro for.
Oh,
so
Barry,
anywhere that you
biggest intro ever.
Botched it.
I
sir.
botched it. I'm
Okay?
sorry.
Yeah, man. You know, you can follow the show on YouTube. I'm on all streaming platforms. All Even Podcast with Barry Grant Jr. I'm on Instagram at All Even Podcast, Twitter at All Even Podcast. Yeah, you know, I have some decent content.
Great content.
Hey, and the grid, baby.
And the Grid Network, baby.
And the Grid Network. Shouts to everybody on the Grid Network. Shouts to Patrick. Shouts to Ryan Flowers. Shouts to you guys. Shouts to Bryson. Shouts to Alfred. You know, we're definitely growing. We got a lot of stuff planned for this year. A lot of new content coming.
Yep.
And if you're not down with the Grid, if you're not down with Cowboys Can Fan, if you're not down with the All Even Podcast, you are a
dummy.
Yeah. So,
there it is.
Make sure that y'all lock in, man.
All right, for the bandwagon boys over there and Ants Best over here, we out, son. I don't think we've ever made it this long into this song before.
This is deep cuts. Deep cuts.